Today I want to share a book with you, and it's titled The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. The authors of the book are William Kamkwamba and Brian Wheeler. The pictures are by Elizabeth Zunat. This is a true story of William's life as a young boy living in Africa. There are some terms and some words that I will help you with as we go through the selection. In a small village in Mawali, where people had no money for lights, nightfall came quickly and hurried poor farmers to bed. But for William, the darkness was the best for dreaming. Let's look at this. Let's picture this. It's a place where there are no lights, so that when it turns dark, everyone has to go to sleep. What happens when it's dark here in Philadelphia? Yes.
You could turn your light on.
But William didn't have that opportunity.
They had to go to sleep.
He had to go to sleep.
All these are monsters.
He dreamed, now remember, William went to sleep. He dreamed of building things and taking them apart, like the trucks with bottle cap wheels parked under his bed and pieces of radio he cracked open and wondered, if I can hear the music, then where is the band? William was the type of student or child who questioned a lot. His grandpa's tales of magic whispered in the pitch black of the room. Witch planes passed through the window while ghost dancers twirled around in the room as if 100 men were inside their bodies. How many of you, where your parents tell you to go to bed and you lay down and then you have all of these thoughts wandering in your head before you fall asleep? That's what William is doing now. But he's asking questions about things that exist or what he heard. At dawn, which means early morning, in the fields, William scanned the maze rows for magical beings, then wondered as a track rumbled past, how does this engine make it go? Pay attention to where you throw that hoe, his father shouted. You'll cut off your foot. Does anyone know what maze is? Maize. These are maize fields. These are corn fields. This is where corn is, okay? For all its power over dancers and flying things, magic could not bring the rain. Without water, the sun grows angry each morning and snatched the fields, turning the maize into dust. Without food, Malawi began to starve. So let's picture this. They did not have lights, and the only light came from sun. But when it was sunny, the sun, because there was no water, no rain, it dried up the maize. So they did not have food. Soon William's father gathered the children and said, from now on, we only eat one meal per day. Make it last. In the evenings, they sat around the lantern and ate their handful, watching hungry people pass like spirits along the roads. Hold your hand like this. No lights, very little food, and this is all you had to eat all day, every day. Money also disappeared with the rain. Pakani, his father said, I'm so sorry. You'll have to drop out of school. Now, William stood on the road and watched the lucky students pass, along with the monster in his belly and the lump in his throat. For weeks, he soaked under the mango tree until he remembered the library down the road, a gift from the Americans. Handful of food, rumble in his belly, can't go to school, don't have light. And what was a pleasant surprise for him?
The library.
The library. He found science books filled with brilliant pictures. With his English dictionary close by, William put together how engines moved those big trucks and how radios pulled their music from the sky. But the greatest pictures of all was a machine, taller than the tallest tree, with blades like a fan. A giant pinwheel? something to catch magic? Slowly, he built the sentence. Windmills can produce electricity and pump water. If he had a windmill, how could this help? Malawi, yes.
First,
And food because of the water it can pump, correct? Thank you. He closed his eyes and saw a windmill outside his home, pulling electricity from the breeze and bringing light to the dark valley. What do you think William's going to do?
Go outside. Go outside.
You think he's going to go outside and build one? Let's see. You think he's going to build one? Let's see. He saw the machine drawing cool water from the ground, sending gushing through the thirsty fields, turning the maize tall and green, even when farmers' prayers for rain went unanswered. The windmill was more than a machine. It was a weapon to fight hunger. Majesty and FIFO, he whispered, I will build electric wind. So you all were correct. Who said that? Let's see.
Never read this book. Wow.
You never read this, but you're using context clues too. In the junkyard, pieces appeared, like rusted treasures in the tall grass, a tractor fan, some pipe, and bearings and bolts that required every muscle to remove. Tonga, he shouted to the birds and spiders, holding up his prize. But as William dragged his metals home, people called out, this boy is Misala. Only crazy people play with trash.
Oh, watch her.
Exactly. Can you relate to that where you thought something was a great idea and people looked at you like, no, it's not going to happen? Raise your hand if you ever felt that way. But you have to stay determined, okay? After many weeks, William arranged his pieces in the dirt, a broken bicycle, rusted bottle caps, and plastic pipe. Even a small generator that powered a headlight on a bike. For 3 days, he bolted and banged and tinkered while chickens squawked and dogs barked and neighbors shook their heads saying, what's Misala doing now? And he didn't care, did he? Did it distract him? Nope. His cousin Jeffrey and best friend Gilbert soon appeared. Muli Bajwani, they greeted. Can we help with the electric wind? Grab your congas and follow me, he said, and took them to the forest. Together they swung their sharp blades into the trunks of the blue gum trees, then hammered them together to make the tower. Standing atop, William shouted, bring it up, while the boys tugged and heaved. A crowd gathered below and gazed at the strange machine. Then now leaned and wobbled like a clumsy giraffe. Some giggled, others teased, but William waited for the wind. Look at that. Like always it came. First the breeze, then a gusting gale, the tower swayed, and the blaze spun around.
Now we have a bunch of food and lights.
With sore hands once slowed by hunger and darkness, William connected wires to a small bulb, which flickered at first, then surged as bright as the sun. Tonga, he shouted, I made electric wind. Watch a Tambino, a man yelled, well done. As the doubters clapped and cheered, William knew he had just begun. Light could not fill empty bellies, but another windmill could soak the dry ground, creating food where once there was none. Majesty out people, electric wind can feed my country, William thought.
You can make multiple.
And that was the strongest magic of all.
As soon as I say you made multiple.
The end.